This chart shows the pregnancy, birth, and abortion rate for teenagers 15 to 7 years old in the United States between 1976 and 2003. Now, according to this chart, the pregnancy and the birth rate both peaked somewhere around 1990, 1991, somewhere in there, and both of them have decreased since then. The thing to notice on here is that the abortion rate has continually gone down. It has not peaked at all during the time of this data gathering. And this information is from the CDC. So how many kids are having sex? Actually, the number is less than you probably think. In high school, grades 9 to 12, in 2005, the rate for both males and females, all four grades, 9 to 12, was 46.8%. When you break that down and look at the different grades, you can see that not unexpectedly, the rate of sexual activity, or the people reporting that they've had sex at least once, goes up as time goes by. But it's not until grade 11 that breaks the 50% mark. Under grade 11, less than 50% of the kids reported having had sex at least once. Over grade 11, more than 50%, but not by much. The highest point is grade 12, which is around 63%. And the rates for males and females were about the same throughout this period. Teenagers say that parents are the biggest influence on their decision about sex. But parents of teens underestimate their influence in this area. Teens continue to say that parents influence their decision about sex more than anything else, and they say that parents, it's about 47%. Friends, by contrast, is only 18%. That's quite a bit of difference. Followed by religious leaders, siblings, and educators, and the media. Now, the media is only 3%. Those other three, the religious leaders, siblings, and educators, were between 4 and 7%. So that's really very little influence on their activity. For the first time, the national campaign has conducted surveys. Adults in the survey now say that parents hold more influence, 40%, than other sources, including friends, the media, and teachers. So adults, according to this survey, say that, hey, it's the parents, have 40% of the influence, everybody else is less than that. However, they say they have friends as being a close second, as 37%. When you ask adults who happen to be parents of teens, it's a different story. They think that their friends have more of an influence on them than they do themselves. Parents of teens say that, only 34% of the influence on teen sexual behavior comes from the parents, whereas 41% comes from their friends. Parents are having helpful conversations about sex with their teens. About 71% of the teens report that they've had a helpful conversation with their parent about delaying sex and avoiding teen pregnancy. Teens share their parents' values. Teens are at 64% and adults at 75% believe that they share the same values about sex. Abstinence and contraception. About 93% of adults and 90% of teens think it's important for teens to be given a strong message that they not have sex until they get out of high school. Information about both abstinence and contraception. When asked whether teens should be getting more information about abstinence, contraception, or both, about 75% of the adults And about somewhere around 60% of the teens said that young people should be getting information about both rather than just one or the other. Teens generally wanted less information about abstinence alone than did the adults. Young people gave lots of reasons why they didn't use contraception. However, only about 16 to 18% of both the teens and adults said that it was because they were afraid of what their parents would say or their parents would find out. So that's not the big reason, according to the respondents in this survey. Gender differences. About 60% of the teens and 75% of the adults believe that boys get the message that they're supposed to have sex. Girls, however, are expected to look good and sexy. It's distressing that about 60% of the teens and 75% or 74% of the adults believe that teen girls often get the message that attracting a boy and looking sexy is one of the most important things she can do. Attitudes and beliefs. About 3/4 of the teens said that it's not embarrassing to admit that they're virgins. Many of the teens say that they really had never thought about what it would be like, what their life would be like if they got pregnant or if they got somebody else pregnant. Almost half the teens say that they have not really given teen parenthood any in-depth thought. A significant minority of adults and teens believe that being a teen parent would either help them reach their goals or wouldn't affect them reaching their goals. So it's a very small amount. Most people agree that getting pregnant as a teenager is going to delay or prevent the young people from getting their life goals. Social norms in teen pregnancy. About 1/4 of adults and almost 1/3 of teens characterize teen pregnancy and parenthood in their community as no big deal. Well, you know what? The converse is that 3/4 of the adults and 2/3 of the teens say it is a big deal. The media. Few would disagree, that the media helps to shape what their social script of our teenagers' lives are. What's hot, what's not, what's normal, what's not normal. But about 3/4 of the teens say that when a TV show or character they like deal with a teen pregnancy, it makes them think about the consequences of having sex